Welcome to the weekend edition. This is Heritage Day, and of course, we've got, it wouldn't be Heritage Day if we didn't have Amanda, Hilda, and Nobesutu, AKA Mahotella Queens. 52 years you guys have been doing this.
Amen.
I don't think people work for 52 years. Like, people work 35 years, 30, 52 years, Hilda.
Well, this is different. This is something else.
Right, right.
A gift from God always it's different from a normal thing.
Well, we are certainly happy to have you here. And you're going to perform for us. You're going to kick off the show with a special song, which you wrote recently, called The Giant Is Fallen. Exactly. Of course, about Utata Nelson Mandela. Yes. Did you write the song?
Amanda wrote it.
Oh, you wrote the song?
Yeah, we gave you a chance. We said, you are just new, you better write this song.
They put you under the gun, right? Yes. Well, it's a beautiful song, and you guys are certainly going to enjoy it. All right, so over here in the kitchen, we've got some special guests as well. Thuli Kokela from Mzansi Cuisine. Welcome to Weekend Edition.
Thank you for having me.
Tell people about Mzansi Cuisine.
Mzansi Cuisine is a food blog I started 5 years ago. It features people, culture, traditional food, beverages, beer, whiskey, everything.
Is it on social media? Is it like an Instagram thing?
Yes, it's on social media. It's on Twitter as Mzansi Cuisine and Instagram.
Okay, I need to follow it. And then we've got Thabo Makheta.
Yes, hello.
It's Thabo Makheta Couture, right?
Oh, yes.
It's not BaSotho Couture.
No, it's just Thabo Makheta.
Right.
That's the brand name, yes.
And firstly, I didn't realize when you were here earlier that you are preggers, so there's two people right here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Weekend Edition. And over to the dining room.
Good morning, South Africa. Hello, everyone. My name is Khanyi, Mbau, the girl that you wake up with. Happy Heritage Day, as Joe has said it. It is a colorful country that we stay in, and we're making food and music. And that's why you see all these beautiful people right here at the table. I have Loyongela, which is a composer. Luyolo. Yes. Correct me, thank you.
Lenga.
Lenga.
Yes.
So what do you compose?
Well, I write music for my wife here, Mthwakazi. We blend African awesome music with opera.
What?
Wow. Yes.
Are you going to perform it today?
Yes, of course.
We're going to hear it, right?
Yes.
Of course.
I play Indigenous bows from Mkhube, which is the mouthpiece bow, and I play Uadi, and I play Umakweyana, and I sing in a classical voice.
That is amazing.
Well, you want to stick around because it's... Wow, I've never heard it, so I'd love to hear that blended. Opera.
Yes.
For the first time in South Africa, opera is right here. Karishma, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You look amazing.
Thank you, as do you.
I thought you'd come in a full sari with everything.
I think it's a bit too much. You know, saris are generally meant for maybe like a wedding or something. I just wanted to be comfortable. I'm going to be in the kitchen cooking as well a bit later. So, yeah, just wanted to be a little bit comfy.
Well, I'd like to welcome you all to the show. It's going to be amazing. But before we do anything, let's hear what the Mahotella Queens have to offer. The giant has fallen.
A giant has fallen, a nation in mourning. Just listen to the cry, chanting Mandela. A giant has fallen, a nation in mourning. Just listen to the cry, chanting Mandela. A giant has fallen, a nation in mourning. Just listen to the cry, chanting Mandela, 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 Mandela. Mandela, farewell Mandela, 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 Mandela. Mandela, rest in peace, Mandela. A giant has fallen.
tribute to the late Nelson Mandela. Stick around. Hashtag Weekend Edition, Facebook Weekend Edition, Twitter, Instagram, The Weekend on 3. See you after the break.
It's a weekend, it's a weekend.
All right, welcome back to Weekend Edition, Heritage Day. Hope you're enjoying your Heritage Day. I am. Got a special guest here. Her name is not Charisma.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you hate that, right? It's Carishma.
It's Carishma. I love my name. It's got a beautiful Sanskrit meaning. And you can call me other things, but charisma is like just the one thing. It just gets
she
to me.
She almost smacked me in the face. Carishma Basday.
Yes,
right.
that's correct.
And Basday is that's not your maiden name, right? That's
my maiden name.
Is that your maiden name? So
Yeah.
you didn't take on. You didn't.
For all professional stuff. It's Carishma Basday. I kind of started my career as Carishma Basday, and a lot of people know me as that. And so I'm married to a beautiful Frenchman, so it's Carishma Le Matin.
Oh, Le Matin.
Oui.
Oh, and you're fluent in French as well.
Parlez-vous petit peu,
Wow.
but not fluent.
And me and Khanyi made the biggest faux pas. I love the movie material. Watched it like 3, 4, 5 times. Did not realize that you were the love interest, the lead love interest.
Of course.
Yeah, and of course, I won't say what threw me off, but yeah, I was thrown off. Wow, what was it like doing that movie? It was shot in South Africa, but it had it had an international cast, correct?
Well, the dad, Vincent Ibrahim, who plays Riyadh's dad, is from the UK. He's former South African.
Oh,
but
is he?
Yeah, now he lives in the UK and obviously works there. And he was just perfect for the role. I mean, he was so amazing.
I actually thought he was just full-on British.
No.
Wow.
I mean, I think he's been living there for a long time, but he was born in South Africa.
So he had everybody had sort of a connection with the story or could relate to it from a personal...
Of course, and the most amazing thing about the movie that even though it was a South African story around the Muslim community or the Indian community of South Africa, it had such a worldwide appeal because so many cultures, so many people can relate to that story of wanting to please your parents and make them happy, but also wanting to follow your own dreams.
Yeah, didn't Barry Ranga come out of that movie crying?
Yes, he did. He did, indeed.
Right.
We were all like, yes, did something right.
Yeah, he came out crying. I was like, what? All right, so you do a lot. You act.
Yes.
You are the current host of Mela TV, right?
I am one of the hosts, yes.
One of the hosts, and you direct, right? You said you dabble in some directing.
Yes, directing and writing, and hopefully going into producing soon. So.
Right, and you are a certified, bona fide yogi.
I am indeed.
You went to India and you did your requisite 200 hours, and you are like you know all forms of yoga. Like you're the one to go. No.
Yeah, not all forms. There's a way to go, I think.
Is it like karate almost? Like there are levels, and it's a never-ending.
It's a practice. Yoga is a lifelong practice, and you dedicate your life to it, or a large part of it. And I think you start off doing your 200-hour training, which is the basics, and then I'm busy with my 500-hour at the moment, which is pretty advanced, all the advanced asana or poses, as you would know it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I just started going to yoga like 2-3 years ago.
Amazing.
And I find it interesting, and I use it as like a additional sort of, especially on weeks where I'm doing a lot of working out.
Right.
I add that into my routine and stuff.
It's so beneficial. I actually teach yoga for actors as well. And so much links into what you need as an actor, the breath control, the balance, the stability, the grounding. It's made me a much better actor.
Yeah.
After
Wow.
it, so.
And do you have a yoga studio, or is this just for personal?
I'm working on a yoga studio, so I do a lot of private classes.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me to manage. I've got a busy schedule with the acting and the presenting, so with my private lessons, I can kind of move them around a little bit. And then I teach at Cape Town, Yoga for Actors.
Right. Tell us about your organic veg garden. I'm really interested in food and what we take and what we ingest, especially with what's happening around us.
Exactly.
Tell us about that and what you've learned about.
Well, I'm a huge foodie. I love to cook and I love to eat.
Yeah.
And I love organic, healthy, nutritious, things. And I really feel like, food is your medicine, or should be. Thy medicine, for the body. And unfortunately, why is it that organic or healthy foods are so much more expensive?
I know, right?
Then do you want us to eat healthy or not?
Right.
So I took
And that's people's biggest gripe. It's like it's cheaper to get.
we all want to do it,
Fast
but
food, yeah.
exactly, it's easier, it's more convenient. So we just decided to just do a little veggie patch at home, super easy.
Yeah.
We plant the things that we eat the most of: zucchini, tomatoes, baby spinach, lots of herbs,
Yeah.
pumpkin. You know, easy things to grow. And
You're not like a
obviously
vegetarian, are you?
I'm a pescatarian.
Pescatarian meaning
I eat fish.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
occasionally.
And your
I eat
husband as
fish.
well?
Well, my husband grew up sailing the world, so he's lived on the ocean practically his whole life. So he's never really eaten a lot of meat. He will dabble in a little bit of chicken occasionally.
So
but
fish is his thing as well, or seafood in general.
Exactly.
And that's why the seafood dish
Yes.
today. Right. Okay. So, but what? So it was just a family project. It wasn't anything crazy that made you go into organic
I
gardening.
started this whole health journey in conjunction with my yoga journey. I actually had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was diagnosed with that, and really made me think a lot. Because I'm a foodie, I love to eat. I've been a dancer my whole life. I've never had to worry about what I put into my body. You know, I could eat a whole pizza and chocolate and this, and I was completely fine. I had an amazing body, and polycystic ovarian syndrome hit me, and all of a sudden, being in the limelight, it was very hectic for me to, first of all, deal with putting on a little bit of weight, skin issues, whatever. And a friend of mine told me, listen, I think it's diet, related, and just try it. So I did a candida cleanse, which is no sugar, no fruit, no refined carbs, whatever.
No fruit.
Yeah, so for 2 months, I did a complete I basically ate raw. You have to make everything from scratch. You'd be surprised how many things have sugar in it. And it all started from there. And within a year, I cured my polycystic ovarian syndrome with diet.
Did you cut down on the amount of food you were eating, or the calories, or?
No, nothing. It was literally just taking out
certain foods.
Mm-hmm. And I felt a lot fuller. When I used to indulge a lot more in carbs and that kind of thing. I love carbs. Who doesn't love carbs?
Yeah.
I was hungry a lot more. I felt like I always needed to eat, and now I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. All right. Tell us about some of the charity work you do. I know you work quite closely with the WWF.
I do.
And then there's an organization called DARG, DOG.
Yes. So, big conservationist, love this environment. The Earth's the only one we have, so we need to take care of it. And got involved with WWF about 3 years ago. I did their Journey of Water. We walked 100 kilometers.
What?
Following the Journey of Water over
How long did that take?
We did it over 4 days, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, so not in one day.
Yeah.
And then we recently did one last year in Durban, which was amazing. So following the source of the water from the source all the way to our taps, and seeing the progression of how humanity and pollution affects, at the source in the mountains, you can drink right from the stream.
Right.
And as you get down into civilization,
Then it gets crazy, right?
and it's such a big
And they
thing.
always say the best water is spring water.
Exactly, but we take it for granted. We take our water for granted. I mean, before all of this, I opened the tap. Water was there.
Yeah.
It's there. We don't think about it.
Right.
And so I think it's an amazing cause just to get people thinking.
All right.
The debate open about water and water conservation. And dog, I'm a huge animal lover. I've got 3 fur babies, so they are my life. And I live in Hout Bay, so dog is really close to me. So I like to do a lot of service time there.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, you're going to stick around, right?
Yes, of course.
We're going to segue now to the Satyagraha House, which is a part of Joburg's heritage scene where you can immerse in the spirit and the philosophies of the great Mahatma Gandhi. Satyagraha was the name given to the philosophy of passive resistance developed by Gandhi. We visited the house to learn more about the history and the Satyagraha philosophy.
Mohandas Gandhi spent 21 years living in South Africa, fighting for the rights of South African Indians, living here at Satyagraha House. Built in 1907 by a good friend of Gandhi and German architect Hermann Kallenbach.
This historical gem was home to Mohandas Gandhi at a critical time. More commonly known as Gandhi House, it is within these walls that the future Mahatma created and developed his philosophy of passive resistance, calling it Satyagraha from the Sanskrit language.
Please can you tell me a little bit about Satyagraha House?
Well, the Satyagraha House, it was opened in 2011 as a museum and a guest house. It's currently the only house which is a working museum where Gandhi stayed in, and it was refurbished in 2009.
It's so special to actually be in his home. I can barely believe it. It's remarkable.
Thank you so much. Well, with the house being a guest house and a museum, so you get to stay in the museum as well.
We can actually stay here.
So you can stay inside the museum. We have rooms inside the museum. People can come for lunch, for dinner, even day visits. They don't need to be actually guests in the house to do that. So it's a place where you can immerse yourself in the history, but also enjoy the environment within Johannesburg. This used to be a veranda before there were no doors, and this is the room that Gandhi used to access his bedroom using a ladder, but this is a replica. You can't use it, unfortunately.
Okay, so I can't use that ladder?
No.
All right, noted. And tell me something about, what are these images? They're amazing.
These images are of Kalambak, the transformation that he took living with Gandhi and the philosophies that he learned in Tolstoy farm, doing yoga, meditation, and the transformation that he took from living a luxurious life as a rich architect.
So through Gandhi's philosophies, he completely transformed his life.
Formed his life to a much simpler life. A farmer used to farm his own crops with Gandhi. Yeah.
The museum retracing Gandhi's experiences in South Africa is installed in the very heart of the house. The central building is called the Kraal because it resembles a traditional African home. A cottage was added a few years after it and was built, and a new modern wing was constructed in 2010.
So this is one of our important rendezvous because this displays Gandhi's principles, the whole principles that was established for the Satyagraha movement, and it also shows Gandhi's transformation when he arrived in South Africa, from being a lawyer, just a lawyer dressed in a nice suit, the transformation that he took when he started a simpler life. He started dressing much simpler. He started weaving cotton as well, using the spinning wheel behind us. And this he would also use as part of his way of meditating.
I see these banners that you have put up here, the truth, non-stealing,
Yes.
bread or physical labor, control of the palate, duty towards neighbor. These are such integral things that we think about now, that we think are a part of our lives.
Yes.
Rather than, I suppose at that time was perhaps not as ingrained.
This is where Satyagraha is based from, from all these principles, the foundation of Satyagraha, the principles that he also instilled into his followers and how he lived.
Is there any significance towards this matting that we're sitting on?
The mat that we're sitting on, it shows how he would actually sit using the spinning wheel, and he would be meditating. So during his meditation, he would spin cotton, and this was also an introduction in India for them to be independent. Instead of exporting cotton, raw cotton, to other countries and buying back as material.
They didn't process it themselves?
No, they didn't process it. So they would buy it back as material, which was more expensive. So by doing so, Gandhi came up, and as these little towns, they would sit and spin cotton and then sell it as material.
It's incredible that they regained their pride and their economical independence through something so simple as cotton.
The house is an official heritage site, and in keeping with Gandhi's simple way of life, there are no radios or televisions on site. Visitors can enjoy this tranquility to read, do yoga, or get a massage. The loft, which was once Gandhi's room, is now used as a space for meditation.
Gandhi once said, "Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony." It is here where you can rediscover stillness and be inspired by a great man.
All right, now we've moved over to the kitchen. We're all set. Carishma here is going to whip us up an amazing dish, a Heritage Day dish.
Indeed.
Stick around. And also, we want to hear about your heritage dishes. Hashtag the Weekend Edition. We'll be right back.
So tongue twist, isn't it?
It is. Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. We're in the kitchen with Carishma.
Yes.
walk us through what we're going to be cooking or preparing and what inspired this dish for Heritage Day.
Okay, so these are two of my favorite Indian dishes.
Okay.
This one's very much inspired by my mom. It's one of the most delicious things that she makes, and
Okay.
I hope I do her justice
Right.
by cooking it. So it's very simple, actually. It's a spicy prawn chutney.
Okay.
The key ingredient, though, is this lovely masala that is handmade, hand-ground, hand-roasted by my aunt. So
What's in there?
you can have lots of amazing things. I couldn't even
Are they
tell
family
you.
secrets?
Yes. I mean, it's like...
So is it like a thing to go into the spice shop and like do a whole...
Well, I mean, she takes all the coriander seeds and all of that and like roasts them herself, and then the different quantities and grinds them and makes this. And honestly, I don't think curry tastes the same without it. I'm very particular.
So
about
that is your curry
powder, like the masala.
for you.
The
Yeah,
masala,
that's
yes.
For you. That's what you
Yes.
use.
So you start.
We can't get that.
Well, you can. I'll hook you up. I'll be a spice dealer.
Okay, cool.
So you just start off with frying some onions.
Okay.
In a pot with a little bit of olive oil. Add in your ginger and your garlic. Let that all saute
Have to.
really nicely, and then you add in, I would say, about a tablespoon. I mean, depends how hot you like it. So a tablespoon of your masala, and you let it roast for a while. That's the key ingredient as well. Let the masala roast. But don't let it get too brown. And then once you see that's done, we've got about 6 medium to large tomatoes here, and you puree 4 of them and then chop 2 of them just to give it a bit of texture. And so you pour all of that in, add salt and sugar to taste just to balance out the acidity.
Of course.
In the tomatoes. And before that...
Quite a bit of sugar though, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know if
Yeah, you don't play
I'm
games.
gonna put all that in
Right,
there.
okay.
And before that, you would take your prawns, 500 grams, I would say, marinate that in a little bit of olive oil, garlic, ginger, and a little bit of salt, and leave that aside for maybe half an hour to an hour. And in a separate pan, just fry them off lightly till they're nice and crispy. And then you would just, I'm gonna grab a spoon.
That's a lot of preparation,
So
girl. Hold
yeah.
on. So you must roast the spices.
Yes.
Well, you would get that already.
Like it looks
already
so
roasted.
simple when it's here, but it's like okay.
So yeah, then you would just add that all over there. There we go.
So all of that becomes this.
Yes, all of that. So all of that kind of creates your chutney.
Yes.
And then you just stir in that. And to garnish, you just tear up a little bit of coriander, as much as you like. I love coriander. So just to make it look nice and pretty. And final touches to that. So yeah.
Would you have it cold or warm?
Warm and with
And what would
some-
you have it with?
with
As
some
a
roti or with some,
yeah,
you know,
definitely,
pilau rice as well. You could do just basmati rice and then a little bit of ghee in a pan and also some onions. Fry them off really nice and crispy, and then toss that in your rice. It's so good. Okay, so now I'm going to move on.
But you would eat that as a main course, starter? What is that?
Main course.
Okay,
Main
cool.
course.
Okay.
That's like main course, definitely.
Okay.
All right.
And with some dal. Dal's my other favorite.
I love dal,
right,
yellow
right.
Or brown.
Yellow
dal.
Oh,
Yeah.
dal tadka is
Yes.
like, yeah, could eat it all day, every day.
By the way, what is dal? There's no such thing as a dumb question.
No.
Dal so is lentil, like almost like
Oh,
a
right,
spicy
right,
lentil.
right, right.
Like yes, and I have it like naan bread. Oh, it's
Yes,
amazing.
Oh, okay.
It's very nourishing for
Yeah.
your system. So
Right.
a lot of yogis.
I know.
I've got a question. Can you put this in a jar like other chutneys, like with no chutney for being in a jar and serving it
No,
later?
so this is not like a preserved chutney.
Okay, cool.
It's just
You eat it.
like a tomato chutney. So you would cook it and then eat it straight away. It's not like a
immediately.
preserve where you have to
Yeah.
let it
Yeah.
set anywhere.
I would eat it with pap, by the
Oh,
way.
you could.
This.
You
Oh,
could. That
yeah,
would
of
also
course.
be
There
quite
you go.
delicious.
Right.
Mixing the cultures, yeah, I love that. That's amazing.
Some mushu in there on the side. Yes.
Okay, so should we move on to some dessert? Okay.
All right. Is this dessert now?
This is dessert. So this is very basic. It's soji. It's very soji. It's basically semolina.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to.
Which is
how
like
do you turn
flour,
this
wheat, right?
Yeah. Just put that a little bit higher. And then you would take a little bit of your ghee in a pan here.
Ghee being, what is that, duck
Clarified.
fat? Oh, it's clarified butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just gives a little bit of an extra flavor to everything. That is hot.
I was about to
It
say
is
it's
hot.
very
You want
hot.
to lower that? Let me help you there with that.
Okay, there we go. Okay. That's been like on there for a while actually.
Right.
That.
Is it going to burn?
Yeah. and we don't want that. Okay, so you're gonna take your semolina here, and you're just gonna pour it in there.
Okay.
And let it roast, thank you. Wow. And just let it roast for a little bit. So again, you wanna just fry off those semolina grains in there.
And the reason here is what? Are you getting the oils out, or what's the purpose?
No, it just gives it a nice nutty, roasted flavor. So you leave that in there for a little bit.
And it looks a bit dry. Is it supposed to be dry like
It's supposed to be dry like this. Okay. So you just leave it in there, and then do we have that's condensed milk. Water. Do we have some water?
Do you have some water?
Some water.
There was a kitchen sink somewhere here. What happened? Who took the kitchen sink out? It used to be here.
I left you here alone the other day. You must have removed
Okay, we've got some water coming now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, how do you know if this is cooked long enough and roasted long enough?
I mean,
is it a color change?
You
or
know,
is it...
a lot of the thing with Indian cooking, like I was saying earlier, I learned to cook from my mom. So I don't even know how to follow a recipe. I mean,
that's the thing with our cultures. We don't really follow like 1 teaspoon.
No.
It's in the taste and the feeling.
It was so hard for me to do. I was like, how
am I going to do this?
I just, throw a bit of that in there, throw a bit of this in there. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of water.
I don't know what a little bit is.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Whoa,
little
more?
bubble. Yeah, little. Okay, that should be good. And then you stir all of that in. So this is basically going to let the semolina just swell a bit and get pillowy.
Yeah.
Which is an actual cooking term. So now you can smell it, and then we're going to add a sugar.
Looks like pro-neutral.
So lots of sugar. So this is not something I indulge in quite a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, a lot of sugar?
It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Oh, you go, girl. I love sugar.
Mm.
I actually like having semolina for breakfast. It makes a nice porridge.
Porridge, it does, yeah. My grandmother used to make that for us all the time.
And I would throw about that much sugar in it, too.
Really, Joe?
Yeah, like, I have a problem. I'm sorry.
Okay, and then, so you let that just soak up in there, and then we're going to add a little bit of milk.
I would add milk, too.
Yeah.
Are we having breakfast? Oh, this is dessert.
This is dessert.
Okay.
So you have dessert every day.
Somewhat, you have dessert every single day.
Girl, this is my recipe.
So you add that in there.
Right, and it's gonna thicken out, and then it's gonna,
Getting all nice and creamy. So you let
Looks
that
like
cook. And then you're gonna add a bit of cream. So this is the decadent version.
Okay,
like
I
the
don't recall adding cream,
very
right?
decadent version.
What's cream in the morning, Joe?
No.
Okay.
What's the final consistency we're gonna be looking for?
So you want it to get nice and thick and pillowy.
It's gonna be like, okay,
So
like a porridge almost.
So this is very weak. So you need it to be like almost set, like, I wouldn't say like a dough, but something that you can, definitely just...
Like a porridge,
yes. Like a pup, yes, like definitely a pup consistency. So we're going to leave that to cook. It takes maybe about 10 minutes to cook, and you'll see it'll start getting nice and pillowy as it absorbs all of that liquid. And we're going to finish it off with a bit of cinnamon and some condensed milk, extra decadence, and extra sugar for Joe, and some almonds.
Wow, okay, well, I'm going to let you cook that.
That's okay.
While you guys go to the stores, remember it's hashtag The Weekend Edition, Twitter, Facebook. It is Facebook, it's Weekend Edition, Twitter, Instagram, Weekend on 3. Come back, because we'd love to see what that looks like when it's done. Don't go away.
It's a weekend, It's a weekend,
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. It's game time. We've got Thami Myoyo, ne? And you, how do you describe what you do? What are you, like a keeper of
Indigenous champ,
cultural heritage games? What is it that you do?
Indigenous games it describes where I come from. It describes my the values of like ikhazubumna no kuzidla ngokweculture yam, and it's not just something that eyenzeka apha phakathi emphakathini qha kuphela, iyaqhubekeka ilizwe lonke. Like in 2008 we were to where the National Indigenous Games team went to Korea to participate in the World Games through Indigenous Games. And Indigenous Games isebenza njenge tool or a vehicle to udibanisa abantu. And it doesn't matter uba ungakanani, it doesn't matter uba uloluphi uhlanga.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so today you're going to teach us a game. What game is it that you want to...
Puca or Diketo.
All right, okay. So I've never played this game. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, so you know it?
I do, but
Have
I'm
you
not
got
good.
some skill?
I don't have skill.
Okay.
Because it's eye coordination plus the hand plus it's crazy.
So is it a traditional Sotho and Xhosa game? Or?
And Zulu game.
And Zulu
It's
game.
a black
okay.
game, yeah.
All right, all right. So take us through it. How do we play? Because we're gonna try and get everybody to play today.
Okay.
Are you gonna try, Joe?
I'm gonna try it. I need to know what like.
Okay.
Nice.
Do I need to
Actually,
go on the floor with you or what?
ngohlobo loba abantwana bangamantombazana bebesithi xa beyokha amanzi emlanjeni ngexesha balindele uba bakha amanzi bayafola mosipha because akafiki wonke umuntu akha amanzi. So bayafika ngexesha omnye balinde i-10 yoba omnye agalele, then they will sit like this, especially girls, and then they will pick stones and then they will dig up some holes, and then from those stones, and then bazawu apho kulaa mngxunya bawokhileyo bafake la matye nalilitye likaKhanyi. What I will do, ndizawukhupha la matye, right? Ndizawusebenzisa uba uKhanyi besetshilo uba it's about eye coordination.
Yeah.
So uzawuthatha ilitye lakho libheka phezulu. Ngexesha ilitye libheka phezulu ukhupha la matye up.
Wow.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and show you.
Gosh.
So it's like
I must
this.
move out the way.
No, you won't get hurt.
You won't get it.
All right.
Don't worry. So what I will do, it's like this. The game is played like this. You throw up the stone. While the stone is going up, you try to pick the stones up. And then you throw up the stone again. When the stone is going up, you try to put them back again, and you're going to leave only one stone.
Wow.
Let's try it. So, you see now, that stone went there.
Yeah.
That means I'm out because I was supposed to take all
Or doesn't that automatically become one? Because I'd be happy because then I would just go like that, then my stone's ready. So
okay,
you're out.
Let me re-show you.
You can't re-show
So you're supposed to
out.
take all of them out and then all of them back in except one.
Leave one outside.
Nope.
But they're supposed to be all out.
So there you go. Wow.
Okay, it's like this.
All right.
And I'm taking
That's
them
easy.
all out.
Yeah, but that's just...
But the third one is out, that means I'm out again. You see? That's it, Khanyi.
Okay.
And then you're putting them all out. But then you need to leave just one stone out.
We're not even at level like 10. This is level 1. This is the beginning.
You see now it's my
You
turn.
try it.
Let's not try it.
Try.
I feel like I'm going to be...
Try, Joe. Come on the ground, try.
Okay. So I throw it up and...
You try it up while the stone is going up. You try to steal this one.
Oh, and then I got to catch it.
You gotta catch it.
All right, okay. So... so I'm going to throw it all the way up there, right?
Nice one.
I didn't quite catch it. Okay. All right, so the idea is also not to have some control when you bring it out. I got you.
Don't throw it too high, because I think you lose control when it's too high.
No.
I'm
going to like, gee whiz, this is crazy. And what level are you? Like, you can get to like level 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yes.
Gee whiz. All right.
Up to 10.
Oh, I did it.
There we go.
But now I have to strategize.
Try and get them.
Inside.
You've got one here, so I'd push back all of that.
Nice one.
Oh, nice.
While we set up for the first Puca game in our tournament, we're going to continue showcasing our unique, diverse South African culture. This is the story of the Shangaan Tsonga people of the Lowveld.
Midway between the Blyde River Canyon and the southern Kruger National Park, the residents of Shangane Cultural Village invite guests to share in the traditional Shangaan way of life. At the heart of Shangane is the Marula Market, a gathering place for craft specialists from the region with a variety of traditional handcrafted art, which is unmatched in the area. I'm now at the Marula Market inside the Shangaan Cultural Village, and I have one of the stall owners, Elvis Mongwane. He's a wood carver as well, and he's got a stall here at the Shangaan Cultural Village. Elvis, why do you think that this particular market is important to the Shangaan people?
This market is very important because it's not helping only one person, it's for the community, the poor community. They make the stuff and bring it to the market, so the chief decided to help them like that. As long as you are here in Mpumalanga, they help everyone who's got a skill.
The market enables local crafters to make a living and start small businesses. More importantly, it helps preserve traditional art forms and artisan skills like wood carving. What do you sell at your stall?
Ngithengisa umfanekiso wezilwane kakhulu. Se okunye nje ngiyakungeza ngoba ngithanda nesupport for abantu abakithi abachamuka kwamanye amazwe nginokuthenga ngifake emakethe zami.
How long does it take you to carve one of the animals? I saw that earlier on you were carving a giraffe. How long does it take you?
Uma ngenza isilwane esinjenge giraffe kuyangithatha amalanga amabili noma amathathu. Kodwa kuyehluka mangaba ngenza omunye umhlobo kuyange ukuthi singakanani njengenyoni nje kuba lula ngoba ilanga eli1 ngiyakhona ukwenza kubili noma kuthathu.
The market is arranged in a kraal and each hut within the kraal houses work from a different crafter, making it easy for visitors to see similar types of art together. The pieces are beautiful representations of Shangaan culture and are made with great love by the local artisans. So we've seen what is on offer here at the Marula market at the Shangaan Cultural Village. I'm going to get the opportunity to meet the chief in his village and to see their way of life. And then later on, we're going to see a song and dance performance. I can't wait. So let's go. South Africa is made up of many different cultures, traditions, and peoples. We are, after all, known as the Rainbow Nation. Today, we focus on one specific group of people. We're at the Shangaan Cultural Village, home to the Shangaan people. Now, we're very lucky to have Sylvia, who's going to be our guide throughout this process, and we're at the Chief's Cultural Village, but we can't just walk in. We need to ask for special permission. Sylvia, will you ask permission for us to enter?
Yes, I'll do that.
King Shaka of the Zulus sent Soshangane to conquer the Tsonga people, and on this journey, Soshangane discovered a fertile place with scattered communities which he decided to make his home. He formed a new tribe from these people and called it Shangaan. Today, the Shangaan people and their traditional ways are cared for and preserved by Chief Israel Ngobeni.
Aye. Prepare leba. Njani? They're saying you're welcome, can walk around, take pictures, do anything you'd like to do.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it so much. Sylvia, you work in one of the most beautiful parts of the country. I'm sure you must enjoy coming to work every single day.
Yes, I do, because I meet with different people from different cultures, different countries, coming on to learn more about my culture.
Now, the Shangaan Cultural Village was initially set up in order to preserve the culture of the Shangaan people. How does it feel to be part of this?
I feel good, because many people don't live like this anymore. That was in the old times. So today, people are coming here to learn about the culture and how it was in the olden days. Even some other people who are Shangaan, but they don't know about their own culture.
When Soshangane formed the Shangaan, he kept the Zulu style of architecture, round huts with thatch roofs. The size and layout of the huts within the village are for specific purposes.
That one next to the main gate is for boys, and it is next to the main gate for security reasons. So this is the two-in-one building. That's their main kitchen and the grain storage. That's where they stored grains after harvesting. And there's that hut with the bones on top of the roofing. That was the chief's mother's hut. She died in 1976 and buried inside the hut. So the bones show that there is a grave in the hut.
Sylvia, when you take people on tours, what are you most proud of to show visitors about the Shangaan culture?
It's food, because most of the food that we eat, we grow. And just go to the garden, pick some rojo, can be pumpkin leaves, spinach, or any other green leaves, because we eat a lot of green leaves. Then crushed peanuts that we grow here and cook.
The community works together to grow and share the produce, and women within the villages also prepare the lunch and dinner meals served to guests touring Shangana. I'm very fortunate now to have the opportunity to address the chief. Unfortunately, I can't speak a word of Shangaan, so Sylvia is going to help me and translate. Sylvia, the chief has a very specific outfit that lets us know as outsiders that he's the chief. Can you maybe explain to us what he's wearing?
This is a traditional cloth that they were wearing in the olden days. So it has to be animal skin and any kind of an animal. It doesn't have to be only impalas because they used to hunt, so they just take the skin and clean it and wear it. Inkomba.
The evening festival is a celebration hosted by the chief and his family. Choirs, actors and dancers tell the story of the Shangaan people and guests participate in a beautiful traditional evening of festivities.
So the chief would like to welcome you once more in his main kraal to watch the dance with him, saying feel very welcome and enjoy the dance. I thank you.
It's been so wonderful to share the day with you and to experience such a truly magical evening. I think that I walk away changed. I'm not the only one to say so, and I'm really looking forward to that traditional meal. I'm gonna get right in there and tuck in. The meal is served by the chief's wives in their respective huts and is another extension of the hospitality of the royal family, who hope that everyone who visits Shangani walks away feeling like they're part of the tribe.
That's right. Welcome back, guys.
Sorry,
the tournament has started.
We're caught in the game.
The tournament has started. We got musician versus musician. Yes. Amanda versus Mthwakazi, who is a champ, it seems.
And Thami is the referee. She's watching with like...
Wow. All right, so I'm going to root from Mthwakazi.
Yes, I'm this side.
I think I've got my money. Wow.
Yeah,
okay. Wow.
Yes.
Are you shaking? Get out of here.
But I take 12 points.
Done. Wow.
You do it 3 times. No, that's how we used to
No,
play.
Tina, we just go Soweto. Soweto, you just go by. Second level.
Oh, they were supposed to be in it.
Where?
When she's studying, you put them in back.
Oh, you put it back in, okay.
Oh, I don't take them. Oh, okay.
Okay, it's still on.
Okay.
You stage 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Missed
Take them
it.
in back. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're still on stage
You're still on 1.
So she's on 1, she's on stage 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's why she was taking the 2 stones out. Wow.
I think we can declare that Amanda is the winner of this round. Would you try this game? That is the question. Hashtag The Weekend Edition. Facebook, The Weekend Edition. Twitter, Instagram, The Weekend on 3. Come back. Show me what you're wearing today because it is Heritage Day. See you after the break.
Okay. So you played this... All right, welcome back to the Weekend Edition. We've got a lot of interesting musical experiences to share with you today. We've got some amazing guests. Husband and wife duo, business enterprise. How would you describe yourselves?
Well, we artists, performers, and entrepreneurs.
All right, but you guys always perform together? Is it or is it just for today or on special occasions?
Yeah, we perform together most of the time.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we've got Mthwakazi and Luyolo.
Yes.
She calls you Luyo.
Leo.
Leo. Yeah, okay, that threw me off. So you guys have some very interesting instruments here which you made yourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
What is this instrument?
This one is called uadi.
Okay.
It's a Xhosa bow instrument.
Okay.
But also the Zulus have it, but it's a middle braced bow. It's quite long with a calabash in the middle.
Yeah.
And then also the Zulus, they will have ugubu, and then we call it, in Susutu, we call it tomo. So I came across these instruments while I was doing my first year at the University of Fort Hare, enrolled to go and study indigenous music.
Yes.
So I came across the instruments, so they inspired me a lot.
Where would we get this calabash? What is that?
Well, you plant them. It belongs to a family of pumpkins.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You can actually even use the insides for like a smoothie or anything. But the seeds, you dry them and then you can use them again for.
Right. All right, so you guys are going to perform a song, and I was struggling with the name. What is it? Mwembula.
Yes.
I'm so bad. Which means a big guy, right?
Well, it's
a giant.
It's an arrival of a great person, but this person seems to be very gigantic and troublesome.
Oh, it sounds like me. So tell me a little bit about, you studied, are both of you classically trained?
Well, no, I studied as a sound engineer first, and I was a producer for quite a number of music genres, from kwaito to rap to, but eventually I was bored. I wanted to study more instruments, so I went to Fort Hare.
So when you were producing music, you didn't know how to play a single instrument?
No,
You were just the guy on the keys, and you were sampling, and just, so all right, wow. So you went to Fort Hare, and now you play how many instruments?
About 20 now.
Now, when you say you play 20 instruments, does it mean you've mastered 20 instruments, or does it mean that you can handle?
I master all the bows, and you've got quite a number of, a variety of them, about 10,
Right.
I master the marimbas as well,
Yeah.
I'm a good percussionist,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and I can master my guitar too, so I dabble on the piano and then drums here and there.
Is that a natural gift that you both have for music, or is it just your passion and dedication to wanting to learn?
Yeah, I think it is a very natural gift because, from the age of 6, I could always tell my parents that I want to sing, I want to perform. So I would stand in front of the TV, in front of the hi-fi, like imitating Brenda Fassie and Miriam Makeba, getting all sweaty, So I always knew that I would be a performer one day, So it comes in naturally because I grew up from a church environment. My life is basically very musical, as much as I remember it,
So, you studied in London, right?
Yes, I studied
at 13.
Paris. No, I was not 13. I was 21.
Oh, okay.
I did a musical production. It was called The Mysteries and the Magic Flute, but in a very Africanized way of doing it. Performing. So I studied and performed in London, Paris, and Holland, performing in different theaters, of course.
Right.
And that has really helped me and enhance my skill of performing and understanding what a performer is, to be able to interact with the audience and make them focus into your performance without being bored.
And at that time, what was your core strength? Was it opera music, or what was it?
I auditioned with a company called Isango Portobello.
Yeah.
So it's basically a company that focuses on a young talent. So they teach you all the basics about performance preparation and performance.
Okay.
So it was a school for me to actually groom me to become a performer. So, yeah.
Wow. And now that you guys have delved into learning more about indigenous music, and you're actually trying to, I guess, preserve the heritage and culture and pass it on as well. We'll talk about that. What have been some of the interesting things that you found? Are there instruments that have been lost? Are there forms of music that have been lost? How do we, as a society, treat and relate to indigenous music?
Well, we have, in a big way, actually lost our music, I was only 25 years when I came across the bows, and I do not believe that actually when they tell me that it's Xhosa music. and I find that my contemporaries, they're actually clueless.
Right.
You know, so it had to be a duty to us to be able to make the music cool by fusing it into the music that other people listen to, so that it comes back again. And we found that the music that we borrow is quite limited in terms of rhythm. You know, African music is quite rhythmic, and I tell you, when I talk about Xhosa music, you can have rhythms from 1 beat in a bar to up to 24 beats in 1 bar. Wow. And when you play them all like in cross rhythmic manner.
Yeah, right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah, and I found that us, by emulating other music, we are letting go actually of a very big gift and actually highly developed music.
Right.
You know, and to settle for lesser, if I would say, because the boom bap is just
that
on top of that 4/4
right,
count, you know what I mean? But yeah, now we are even trying to experiment with having rappers rap on a 7/4 beat or in a 9/4 beat.
7/4 beat, what?
Yes, you know, for instance, the song that you're going to be performing in Mula is on a 13/4 beat.
Okay.
But when we play it, we have to count it and divide it into 2 and play 6.5 beat and then 6.5
Are
beat
you also
again.
crossing the beat counts like you mentioned earlier? Are you changing from one to another in the song?
Yes.
That's incredible. Yeah. And this journey that you guys have been on, I mean, has it been a difficult one? Because obviously you have to kind of teach yourself, and I would imagine there are not many references for you to listen to or to learn from. So you're kind of having to figure it out without knowing what you're doing.
Yes,
right?
It has been like that. It has been like that. But Mahotella University actually really helped, because at least they have collected much about the music, you know. So yeah, it really
So is it a lot of written music, or is it a lot of recorded music that you used?
It's a lot of recorded music.
Right.
You know? Yes. Thanks to the man by the name Hugh Tracy, who had started in 1930 actually recording Southern African music.
Right.
You know, trying to preserve. And now they also have in Rhodes University an International Library of African Music.
Wow.
That's where also you can be able to find instruments and recordings of the instruments as well.
All right. Well, I'd love to hear this 7/4 count song, Inglemula. Yeah, I know I say it with an accent. I'm sorry. But okay. I'm trying. All right. So, okay, take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Man. That's right, you're learning something new every day. I want to hear about what you thought about that. Hashtag the Weekend Edition. Keep the conversation going. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. We're still in the kitchen. I'm still dressed in my male Xhosa gear. I know you've been wondering the whole show, is she aware that it's a male gear? Yes, I am aware. But we are South African and we are allowed to explore, and I'm exploring the male side of the Xhosa side. What you think? Hashtag the Weekend Edition. So Tuli's still in the kitchen. It's funny that all these meals that you're making, I'm familiar with them. I may not know the names, but I'm familiar with them and I've probably made them my own way, my own style.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you say that, you know, most African food doesn't have like a pinch of this, 5 mils of that.
No.
We cook from the heart.
Yes.
So what are we making now?
Right now we're making chakalaka, and a lot of people might say, why chakalaka? Everyone knows how to make chakalaka. It's a popular dish.
Oh, so
but the thing is, you get a lot of people, as popular as it may be, you get a lot of people who don't know how to make something as basic as chakalaka. So with this one, it's my own recipe. I've added my own twist to it. You just fry onion, you grate your carrots, you add your green peppers, just slice them just a little bit. It smells divine. And then what else is here? You can
I see peppers, I see.
You can add chilies. Yeah, and then I've added curry powder. You can smell it now. It's roasting. And then after that, we add tomatoes.
Okay.
With the tomatoes.
And these are grated.
I've used tomatoes from a can, but you can use 3 or 4 tomatoes, but grate them, remove the peel, and then grate them. Okay. And you just mix them through. And then you let this cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. And when it's done cooking, you add the beans. You add them at a later stage because you don't want them to be soft. Like it's beans from a can. Yes. And
because they can't get mushy and turn into a mash.
Some people, what they usually do when they're making chakalaka, they would add like what is this? A cabbage, grate it, like just to bulk it up a bit. If you like, especially if you're serving it, you're cooking it for a lot of people, then the cabbage and the carrots, they come in handy. So I would advise anyone to do that, especially like today, like you get a lot of people coming to your place and having a braai, you have to make sure that chakalaka is going to be enough for everybody. You don't want people complaining, you know? You don't want people complaining that I went to Khanyi's house and oh my God, there was not enough food. So you see now it looks amazing.
Can you use any beans for it?
Like I've used red kidney beans, like just for a pop-up color. But usually, and some people have used butter beans, but they're not usually popular. People don't use them a lot. But these, they're like, everyone uses them all the time.
But have you guys realized that the darker the skin tone, the spicier the food?
Yes.
Have you noticed? The darker the skin tone, the food tends to have a lot of flavors in it, a lot of spices, a lot of chilliness in terms of the chilliness and the level of chilliness. Do you know why that is?
The darker the food.
The darker the skin. The spicier the food.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Because truly, I'm a cook. Everyone knows I'm a foodie. Like, I went to Joburg, and my friends in Joburg were like, they were not impressed with my chakalaka, and I was so offended. I'm like,
it's basic. Remember when you started, I was like, it's so basic.
But the thing is, in Joburg, they say, truly, like, we want it to be spicy. Where's the chili?
Yes.
They went and hoed some chili, like...
That's what we do in Joburg, though.
Yes. Yeah. And for us here in Cape Town and in the Eastern Cape, we don't add that much. So it's true what you're saying, like...
And the further away from water people are, the hotter the food.
Exactly. I don't know why.
I wonder why. If you know at home, please let me know, because I've realized that, you know, the darker the skin and the more melanin, the more spice that we want. But if you love sitting with strangers and meeting different people like myself, Dine with Khayelitsha is a movement that is taking Cape Town by storm. It's a conversational dinner served with a treat of true African cuisine that sees people from around the globe. Coming together and enjoying conversation is what happens there. It's an awesome experience to try out in the township. Let's check it out.
Township tours have become a novelty for international tourists, but a new venture offers locals and visitors a truly engaging township visit that is enlightening and delicious. It is not often that people from different walks of life come together in a township for an evening of socializing and dining. Dine with Khayelitsha is an event that takes place regularly in the vibrant Cape Town township of Khayelitsha, and today I get to meet the brains behind the event and join in on some dining and socializing. Dine with Khayelitsha offers a truly South African dining experience, bringing people together from all over the country and the globe with its mix of Ikasi lifestyle and conversation. Sisa, the concept of your event is really quite unique. What gave you the motivation to start such an event, and where did you get the idea from?
Okay, the idea started like Ngobesi Tibanani students from Denmark and Switzerland. Yeah, it was last year on April. Yeah, so they asked like, could we like host them for Good Dine with Khayelitsha? Basically at that time, it wasn't like Good Dine with Khayelitsha because they just wanted to dine, yeah, in Cape Town. But we told them like the real stories are in the township, and they're gonna get like some core like remedy of like everything in Khayelitsha. After that, we decided, okay, we welcome them like easily in the Semagwetu. Yeah, we asked like our sisters to cook for us because we were not ready at that time. Yeah, then we dined. Yeah, and it was cool. We saw an opportunity, like when we started Dine with Khayelitsha, we saw that it could bridge the gap between the cities and the townships.
And Sisa, what are you hoping to achieve with these events?
We want collaborations, and also sifuna zibe impactful ngendlela yoba apho xa kuncokolwa like within the household kukwazi ukuphuma like ne-solutions that can like better like situations esikuzo, just to bring abantu like about different to be able to bring something new together.
The event also unites the community as residents cook together and open their homes to welcome event guests. You've been running the events for a few nights now, and what does the community think of this initiative?
People like were very not aware about whatever like that we're doing. So like you had like those people like just call you around the corner that like, oh, now you are working with white people, so like you don't even inform us about like whatever you are doing. So like we try to find a way to engage people to Dine with Khayelitsha, but then like since last year, if you can compare last year and now, you can say like, yeah, people like has been like so like engaging to Dine with Khayelitsha. They want to come to Dine with Khayelitsha and engage with people like they don't like live with like in the same areas.
And tell me about the food that's going to be served on the evening. What's on the menu?
He's cooking like a beef and rice like with like veggies.
The food is traditional fare typically served in Khayelitsha households, and the dinner is also a tour moving between various homes for each of the courses on the menu, where guests can meet residents and hear their life stories.
What I'm expecting, I just would like to share a beautiful moment with people we don't have in this life and understand what is important for them, how their life, and what we can change, and try to get a better life together and change this life.
So what am I excited to see tonight? I think it's the experience of eating in someone's home. It's always interesting to be in someone else's space and see how people do things.
These dining sessions bring about unity, shatter race boundaries, and offer a fresh perspective on certain aspects of township life. With plenty of thought-provoking conversation during the evening, it also promotes sharing of cultures, forging friendships, and creating great memories over an honest plate of food.
Look, here is nothing left. It was beautiful, very good. And I still haven't tried the salad, so I will go over and get some more.
Well, the evening was great, and I'm really happy to have been a part of it. The people were interesting and fun to be around, and of course the food, delicious. I recommend Dine with Khayelitsha for anyone who wants to have a great conversation, great food, and of course to learn about interesting cultures.
Welcome back. The chakalaka is ready, as you can see that Thuli is busy constructing this roll. There's nothing like comfort of a boerewors roll with a great filling like chakalaka. But where does this come from?
What do you mean?
Where does it originate from?
I have no idea. I just know that all South Africans, they love, we've got two relishes that are popular. Tomato and onions more, like in the Eastern Cape, we call it a bisto.
Yes,
We call it a bisto. I don't know where that name originated from, and then there's chakalaka, so yeah. But like everyone loves it. It doesn't matter the race, whether it's African,
Yeah, I think it's just a South African thing.
Is chakalaka like curry? Does it get better with the days that go by? I
Yes.
mean, curry the next morning is like...
The more you keep it in the fridge,
so
the more it just ages
Oh.
and it just, yeah. But why is it with curry that it's actually nice on the second and third day?
I think it's the same thing. I think things with lots of flavors in it, if you leave them for a bit, just let them be, they absorb. They have time to just absorb all of that flavor. So, yeah.
It happens with all types of food. Like flavor development happens in 24 hours. So I've learned that from being a food technologist way back in the day. So you just leave everything, and then the next day you taste it again. Like for instance, when you're making a product, you're tasting it today, and you find out, okay, it's almost there. Then you taste it tomorrow, and everything is so pronounced.
Like, wow.
It's either it's good or everything is more pronounced the next day. So we've decided that, okay, flavor development happens in 24 hours.
In 24 hours. Remember to tell us what's happening with you today, as it is Heritage Day, and we'll see you after the break. Hashtag the weekend edition.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. Today is Heritage Day. It's Heritage Weekend. And this weekend, there's a big expo happening at the Dome.
Yes.
And it's called?
The Gauteng Getaway Show.
I've never heard of that before.
You haven't?
The Gauteng Getaway
You should
Show.
come.
Catherine Frew is here, and you are?
I'm the show manager.
Oh, are you the show owner?
Not the owner. It's owned by Ramsey Media, but the show manager.
All right. So it's been running for 6 years, the Getaway Show.
Yep.
And from what I understand, it's been growing from strength to strength. Just quickly explain what the Getaway Show is.
Sure. So this is actually our 24th show. So 24 years.
Oh, is it 24?
24
Where do I
years.
get my 6 years
Yes,
from?
24 years.
24.
We've been
Get
running.
out of here. Somebody's fired. 24 years, right?
So
okay.
the Getaway Show, we are everything travel, outdoor, and travel, outdoor, and adventure related. So anything you can think of, from camping gear, accessories, overlanders, 4x4s, anything you can think of about adventure, outdoor, we have it at our expo.
Okay, 350 exhibits or exhibitors, right?
350 exhibits.
Exhibits. And it ranges from everything from adventures to wine to food, etc.
Yes.
What are some of the activities that people can partake in at the actual...
So for the first time this show, we are doing a braai competition.
Okay. With Jan Braai?
Not with Jan Braai, with somebody else, but Jan Braai does do some things for us at Getaway.
Okay.
So we have a braai competition that we are running. We have 2 separate competitions, a junior competition and a championship. So junior competition is obviously for under 18s and 1 adult. Kind of a MasterChef type thing where you get a mystery box, you have to cook, the judges will decide. Some fantastic prizes, more than 30,000 rands worth of goods up for grabs.
Right.
And that's happening today at the Dome.
Okay.
And then we also have a wine village where you can go and taste 15 producers.
South African producers.
South African producers, their wines on offer and directly on sale to the public. We have a volleyball tournament happening with, in association with Gauteng Volleyball Association, where we're going to have pros playing. We've got Olympic athletes. We've even got models playing.
Okay.
Who will be in beautiful bikinis, sponsored to the show.
Right.
Then we've also got a market. We've got a deli. We've got some of Joburg's famous food trucks happening as well. They're coming to serve some food up. And then we've got a travel and taste theatre as well, where we're doing fashion shows, we're doing food tastings, whiskey tastings, wine tastings, and our Getaway editorial staff is also doing a presentation.
How many attendees do you guys get now? It sounds like so much.
This year we're expecting about 20 to 25,000.
Wow.
Yep.
And these are all enthusiasts or just first-timers or just everyday people? Are these...
So it's a mix. I mean, this year we're expecting a lot of first-timers because obviously we've got a whole new activities that are happening, in the volleyball and the braai and everything.
That's right. You've got...
But we've got our loyal readers who attend, and then we obviously associated with a lot of media that are bringing a lot of partners as well.
Right. New activities include, and correct me if I'm wrong, a climbing wall, right? Is it a rock climbing wall?
It's a rock climbing wall, yes.
Right. And that's for all ages, it's not just for kids?
Ages. No, it's for all ages.
So for the enthusiasts and for people who want to challenge themselves, is it like a mega epic, like...
It is, to be corrected, but I think it's about 7 or 8 meters high.
Okay. and laser shooting. Is that like Laser Quest?
Like Laser Quest, but just
Yeah.
a mini version of it. Obviously, we can't have people running around the dome
Yeah.
trying to shoot each other with laser guns, but we do, it's a mini version of it, so you can come in, you can compete against some experts that we have coming in as well. Yeah, and it'll be quite
So
fun.
it's like paintball, but without the paint.
Without the paint,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
And then in that adventure area, we have an inflatable boxing ring. So if you want to bring a family member, inflatable boxing could
boxing
work.
ring, really?
Yes, yes, in the adventure area. And we've also
Explain that.
got-
It looks like a normal boxing ring.
So it's inflatable. You can hit against the sides and those oversized gloves.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, and then you're in like the big
Yeah.
body suit and stuff
Correct,
like that.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Safe boxing. My
Safe
type of boxing.
Yes, yes.
I don't feel like getting knocked out. Of course, you've got a travel and taste theater as well.
That's correct, yes.
Wow, this is an epic event. So you guys can go and check it out. It's happening right now. You can go today. You can go tomorrow.
Yes.
And people can go to your website for more information, right?
www.getawayshow.co.za. And if you go and log on, you can see we're giving away some free tickets for today and tomorrow as well. So just log on to the website to see how.
All right, there you go, man. Catherine, thank you so much for coming to
pleasure.
Weekend Edition. Now, speaking of brides, the king of South African bride culture must be Jan Braai. That's not his real name, though, you know? I don't know if he really is the king of brides. But he loves it so much that he popularized National Bride Day, which coincides with Heritage Day each year. This year, his bride tour saw as many as 50 teams signing up to explore and, of course, braai all along the garden route. Take a look.
The third annual National Bride Tour sees proud and passionate South Africans hit the road to explore the sights and sounds from Cape Town to Addo National Park over the course of 7 days.
Welkom by die Nasionale Braaitoer van 2016. Ek staan in die middel van Kaapstad voor die Cullinan Hotel waar die feeslikheid begin. Hier's deelnemers van reg oor die land. Om die waarheid te sê, van reg oor die wêreld. Nou die toer is nogal 'n besige affære elke dag. Hier word heelwat gebraai en ek kan nie self by alles uitkom nie. So ek het hierdie jaar 'n assistent gereël op die toer. Dit is Marzaan Slaai. Waai gou vir die kykers by die huis en Marzaan gaan gou vir ons uitvind waar al die deelnemers vandaan kom.
The tour is filled with early morning cups of coffee, campsites, great scenery, and of course, lots of braaiing.
Kyk, die skool is uit en die man is reg vir die naweek. Is dit julle eerste keer hier so? Ek dink nie so nie.
Ons tweede keer, ja, ons tweede
Kyk, hier is terug vir nog.
Terug vir nog, nie
Was die-
genoeg gehad.
Dit was die eerste keer lekker, natuurlijk.
Fantasties geweest, ja.
Ongelooflik.
Sien baie uit na die volgende rondetjie.
Awesome. Ouens het hulle stickers, soos is reg, is aan die plak en ek sien die toer het al begin hier so by julle.
Nee, dit is so. Van Johannesburg af, al die pad, met baie liefde.
Don't be fooled into thinking this is a trip just for the manna. Among the teams were very capable women of all ages who were keen to show the guys that braaiing is a skill for everyone. The fun kicks off as the teams hit the road, and this journey is about more than just local tourism and heritage cooking. The Bride Tour showcases nation building around a fire, bringing very different people together with a common interest and celebrating South Africa with an adventure.
Ons sien uit om 'n bietjie vir die manne te wys dat girls ook kan braai en ook in die rooi vleisindustrie kan werk.
Ja, ek dink hulle onderskat ons 'n bietjie. Ek sien uit daarna om ons mooi kuslyn te ontdek, om te sien wat die land het om te bied en dat mens nie altyd 'n vliegtuigkaartjie Rome toe hoef te koop nie.
The tour took its participants to Napier and Struisbaai before the first overnight stop at Cape Agulhas. From there, it would continue to locations like Calitzdorp, Oudtshoorn, Wilderness, Plettenberg Bay, and Port Elizabeth. Along this route, there are many heritage sites to visit, and the group would get to as many as possible before enjoying their evenings with a festive braai at the campsites. The hope is that this road trip is also an opportunity for participants to learn something new, whether it's learning about our country or learning how to survive in a campsite without some of the comforts of home.
Ons het gisteraand gekamp by Agulhas waar die Indiese en Atlantiese Oseane mekaar ontmoet. En vandag hier net buite Swellendam is dit waar twee riviere bymekaar kom. Dis die Sonderend en die Breë rivier se sameloop by die Kambati rivieroord. Nou ek het 'n paar administratiewe nasionale braaitoer take waarna ek moet aandag gee. So my kollega Marzaan Slaai, Marzaan waai gou vir die kykers by die huis. Marzaan gaan gou vir ons uitvind of die mense dan weet hoe om tent op te slaan.
Because this is a braai tour, all the braai essentials were supplied along with 2 meals and beverages. With the food sorted, teams just had to manage their vehicles and their camping gear.
What do you never camp without?
The trust tent.
Ja, kijk. Ja.
Baie, jy kan eintlik sonder baie min klaarkom.
Ja. Wow.
Cell phone charger. Cannot leave it out.
Yes.
Hout en wyn.
Fantasties. Hout en wyn, ja. Jy moet
Sleeping bag.
Ja.
Charcoal. Cerebral salt.
Yes.
Good.
Being part of something so unifying and vibrant is unforgettable, and some people made sure the memory lasts with a tattoo. As the braai fires burn, it also ignites a fire in the hearts that brings people closer together to celebrate their collective heritage. Regardless of age, race, or creed, the people around a braai are your fellow South Africans, and we can all do with a dash of optimism and pride for our country. At the start of the tour, each team was issued with a full-size South African flag, and just as the food prepared are physical examples of our heritage. Our flag is as unique, colorful, and cool as our rainbow nation. So at each destination where the tour made a major stop, the tour group would collectively wave their flags, giving a kind of rainbow high five to places and people, reminding us all that there is so much to love about South Africa and our land.
Now, I want to hear from you. How you spending your Heritage Day? Hashtag the Weekend Edition. Keep it friendly on social media. No trolls, guys. Weekend Edition will be right back.
Welcome back. For every Heritage Day, there's always one iconic group that will always stay relevant. The Mahotella Queens have been around for 52 years, more than my own age. I mean, I wasn't even born when they started. And my age doesn't just scratch their surface. They're right here in studio with me. I've spoken to them a number of times.
Yes.
And I respect them so much, and I tell them welcome.
Thank you, baby.
In our language, every older person is your parent. Every koko is your koko.
Exactly.
Every mama is your mama.
Exactly.
And it's important that when you see them, you stop and you acknowledge them.
Exactly.
Your journey has been such an inspirational one. You've had the likes of the Queen in your presence, precedents in your. You are known worldwide. You've seen the world. I wonder what your passports look like. How has it been?
I must tell you, we've got more than 15, 20 passports.
I'm sure.
They're all full.
Trust, I believe.
Serious. Serious. This is how we've traveled.
But as grannies, you must have grandchildren.
Yes, exactly.
The traveling, family time, doesn't that affect being koko?
Let me just say from the beginning, from our own children, when we left them whilst they were still young, and we've been going on and on and on with our children, leaving them at home. But because of God's grace, they grew up and they behaved themselves, and it's because of, I believe in God. That's God's grace that they are what they are. Up till this day, they are what we are. Even our grandchildren, God has blessed us with grandchildren. And yes, I love you just for saying Koko. We are Kokos.
You are.
When we started, I was 22 years.
Yes.
And now I'm 74 years, but I'm still going on stage. When we started, Nobesutu was 19 years, and now she's 70 years. Yes, and we are still going on. By the way, remember we had that third lady who was with us all along, and I cannot stop talking about her. Yeah, because she has also worked with us for 49 years.
Wow.
And unfortunately, she's now no longer well. She's sick, she's at home, but we say God is with her, and yeah.
But Koko, there's so many groups that come together, and in a space of time, and I'm talking about the new generation, there's so many groups that don't stay together. What is the formula for a group to work, and how have you managed working as three? Because they usually say three is a crowd, but you guys have managed to keep it together and make such history with being a group of three women. Because in South Africa, there's this belief that women can't work together, women don't like each other, women don't support each other?
I should think it's because from the beginning of the group, the guys that we worked with together, Bo Mahlatini, Max Mankwane, Western Kosi, Mkizo Mnani, Lucky Munama, Joseph Makwela, from those guys, we started our respect from them. And we were never free, and they never allowed us to be free and to be like thinking that, yes, we can do things on our own. We respected them, we respected ourselves. Hence, even after their death, when they died, leaving us behind, also we just kept on saying, we kept on with the same courage, that we are sisters and that we have to respect one another. Up till this day, this is what we are doing. Hence, we are teaching this young lady that this is how, this is what made us to be what we are up till this day.
Babe, but I mean, you're sitting in a very, very amazing position. I mean, you're in the mind or the secret book of a legend, how to make a legend. You are in the engine, you see how it is. How does it actually feel to be a part of this? Because, I mean, look around you.
It's very humbling. It is very humbling. It's always been my dream, you know, to work with them and then to see it coming to life. Wow. Like, it's been an honor, and I love and cherish them so much. So it's such an honor to be with them. I feel very blessed.
Our country says Katinesi Wikonamanje Koko, you know, we don't know who we are. We've forgotten why we are where we are in the country now, in terms of freedom, in terms of economic status, in terms of Ubuntu, in a way. I mean, if you look at all angles of our country at the moment, there's such a tilt, there's so much going on. And you've seen this country come out and get into where it is now. What's missing? What has changed?
It's painful what you're asking. It's so much painful.
It is.
Yeah, it's firstly, it's respect. Secondly, guys, what I cannot change from what I'm going to say, and I'll keep on saying it always. If really we're going to keep away from God, keep ourselves away from God, really, then we're done. Then this country is going to be done. All what we have to do is to get closer to God, keep on praying for everybody, for our presidents, for our ministers, they themselves, they have to keep on praying. I believe, that's my belief, and there's no one, without God, really, there's nothing that we're going to do. Hence, look at us where we are today. And it's so much painful. We have traveled the whole world. As men, wherever we go, they would say, from South Africa, they would just see you from up here. You are from South Africa.
Wow.
The language, the character you are, the way, the style you are, the respect that we had, they would say, we don't even have to ask about you. You are from South Africa. Hence, with me, I would say South Africa is for Jesus. South Africa, let's all come closer to God, and yes, we'll make it.
Because there's also such an issue right now with, in terms of, and it disappoints me to look at the fact that we've gone back to color, to who we are, to black, white versus culture, you know, this whole thing about hair should be this way, we shouldn't speak in that language. As an elder, and you look into the struggles and the ills that society has due to the youth today, how do you feel, and what would you say, how do we fix this?
Hey, you know, when you talk about the youth, it's terrible. It's hurting.
We're messed up.
Yeah, you are really, our grandchildren are really messed up. And you never say, when you are a parent, you never say, Minabam, they are okay. I don't care with that one. No. It's so painful to see these children really doing the whole mess that they are doing, and or the whole mess that they are up to. You are like, my God, children, we talk to them. For instance, with me, you go to my place, you go to my location, they'll tell you that this gogo, she's always calling us and talking to them that, guys, you have to come together, you have to obey, you have to respect, stop doing all these drug things and all. Where are they from? That's number one. Where are these drugs from? You kill yourself, drinking a lot, you're killing yourself. Eating a lot of drugs, you're killing yourself. Having no respect, you're killing yourself. A lot of them, they like saying to us, what makes you to up till this day that you're still keeping on this day? It's a respect and the way we've handled ourselves, the way we did things.
Yes.
That's it. If you don't take care of yourself, then, and we're saying, please.
I mean, you're women that have been independent for a very long time. When I mean independent, meaning whether married or not, your career has constantly gone on. Women get married and they feel that they need to then support the man and forget their dreams. But there's such an issue now that a lot of women are saying they would rather not get married so that they could still be themselves. How did you manage to balance both marriage and music and still be a woman?
Well, it's because of what we are saying. The way the way we grew up. Inhlonipho ngendlela sikhule ngakhona, ngendlela abazali bethu basifundisa ngakhona, and nathi we kept on the same line. Azange city even today to say that, well, I no longer have a husband, I have to do this, I am free, I can do whatever I want to. No. Whatever we did it to say, I can be, no matter I can be divorced or I can be, but I'm not going to lose my character. And I've got children that I have to take care of. And my children should take an example from me. If I do wrong things, drinking liquor, going up with men, doing all these funny things, then I'm killing up my children.
You are.
But if I take care of myself, not doing all these funny things, exactly, life will go on okay, even with my grandchildren, with my children, even with the next door child. It's not for my children only, for all the other children. I have to be a good example to all of the children.
Wow. You made a very popular song that I love personally. And, you know, I have to really commend you on giving youth a chance, because a lot of young people believe that elders do not want to give us an opportunity. They want to hog onto everything. But you've taken someone like Carishma Basday to make a song called Malume. And the message is so vital in that song, where stop being lazy, stop using people's strength and people's blood to make your life better. How did that come along?
Just go on.
Well, apparently, Thabo Mama, they've done the song before, and then Carishma had the song.
Oh, it's a rendition.
Yeah, actually, the song was composed by this lady who's sick.
All right, let's see the song, and then we'll come back to it.
Okay,
let's check it out.
Thank you.
I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm going to America. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna tell him about the stories. Tell him everything you taught me. Tell him everything you taught me. Tell him about the stories. Tell him everything you taught me. Everything you taught me.
I really love this song. Coming to America. Hey. Oh, man. Gives me goosey. Oh.
I love this boy. The way he did the song, the way he also added up his ways of the song.
It just blended so well.
Blended so. This is wonderful. He did a beautiful, brilliant thing. You know, this is one thing we always say to these young guys. They always like taking us like, they're saying it's like what? Hey guys, we've been recording with guys in America. Who's this last guy? Atomic Bomb.
No ways.
Really? Yes. We've recorded with him. We're doing shows with him.
On tour with him.
With him, and he's a young man, and they keep on wasting their time. But with this guy, who's this boy? Carishma.
Yes.
He did a clever thing.
Oh man, the song. Because you know, usually songs that have such a strong message tend to be boring.
Yes.
You know, when it's about crime or it's about sickness, AIDS and all these ills, it's like, oh my gosh, sounds like a song for some campaign. But this song, you can jam to it.
Oh my God.
And then when you sing the words, you realize, oh my gosh, it's actually a good song. It's actually healing.
Exactly.
It feels good, and that's what we need. Exactly. But it's big. I mean, the downloads were crazy. And I think it's going to be nominated as well in the next awards, because it's really got airplay and it's really, really doing well.
We hope so.
Shooting the video, were you involved?
I should think...
In terms of conceptualizing?
Yes, we did took a video with her.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And where was it shot?
Oh, well.
At Nikki's.
At Nikki's? Wow. You know, it's just, you know, when you think Mahotella Queens. You think very stiff until people meet you. Then you're like, no, but they're just like us. Actually, they're cool. Yes, right, man. You can hang out na bokoko, but right, because me I've hung out na bokoko. So, but when we think of the name, then you got the Sanbonan Bobani. You're like, okay. Well, I'd like you to stick around because Nyazutinsazo perform.
Okay, baby.
And I can't wait to see you perform. There's still food. There's still a lot of conversation. Even on Twitter and Instagram, I'd love to know what you think of the song because it is my favorite song. Yes, ma.
Before you would go to the Twitter, what you are saying about having a pride because from Mahotella Queens, you're like, no, guys.
Not at all.
You are what you are. You are Mahotella. It's because of those people supporting you. All those South African guys, they made you to be what you are.
Yeah.
To be known and to be a Mahotella. If they didn't support you, support us, then who would have known of us? No one. Hence, this is what I'm always telling about these children, that stop having pride. No.
The star syndrome.
You don't do that. So all what you must do is, hey, be cool, humble yourself.
Yeah.
And when you humble yourself to those people, they are the main people. Forget about yourself.
Yeah, it's like saying, what's the use of making music if people don't turn on the radio?
No.
What's the use? So we are nothing, honestly, without you at home.
Exactly.
Like I was saying, it's hashtag the Weekend Edition. Let's carry on with the conversation.
Really?
Let me know what's on your mind. What makes your artist amazing? The Weekend Edition on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, The Weekend on 3. They're going to be performing. So you're going to see it live right here on the show. You don't want to go anywhere. Welcome back, and I hope you're enjoying your Heritage Month. It is only women. We got rid of Joe because we felt we'd love it to be a female affair. As you know, that Heritage Day and Month is all about our heritage. Food for the soul. We eat for our culture and who we really are. So, Julie, what are we making today?
Today, I'm making Mahodu tribe. And the only reason I'm making tribe is because she wanted me to teach her how to cook it. Okay, so we got...
Thabo, so you don't know how to make this?
I always ask my mom to make it for me. She gets annoyed with me.
Yes.
So I think it's about time I also learn how to put it together myself.
I agree.
But the thing is, on my blog, I always get a lot of... oh my God, like Thabo here, like they're always asking Tuli, how do I prepare this dish? And
I can't even make pap, so you're good.
I'm one up on you. This one particular time, I got a comment from a Makoti. She made steamed bread for her husband, and he was over the moon. So I hope it's going to help you as well.
With points at home, sure.
Okay, cool.
But what is tribe? Because most people look at tribe and think, ew.
Tribe, it's something we grew up with, but you know what, there's I say this all the time, there's two different types of tribe. There's a white tribe and then there's the green or brown tribe.
Yeah.
And Xhosas, Zulus and Sotus, they prefer the green tribe.
Yeah, that looks a bit white.
That's the fresher one,
Yeah, that looks a bit white. Like, where's the color?
Between the two?
The thing is, people believe that all the flavor comes from the color. As a result, they only add salt and just pepper, and that's it.
Wow.
And from time to time, we want to still find the grass and the sand.
No, you need to wash it properly.
But the thing is, with that tribe, you have to like run it under, like cook it, like just rinse it under running water and make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned. So with this one, you don't have to worry about that. You just add it to your pot and then you add water. We've got water here and, okay, you've got water. But the thing is, you have to let it cook until it is soft, yes. If it means an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, then let it be. With this tribe, I'm just flavoring it up with oxtail cubes. You can
Is it
crumble
beef or
them.
chicken? Beef.
Beef. Oxtail, yes.
Okay, oxtail, yeah.
And then I'm adding a bit of ginger. You grate the ginger. The ginger adds a little bit of flavor. And then there is garlic. You add it all in there. And then,
so all of that is like a pinch of everything?
A pinch of everything.
Okay.
You can taste it because that's how we do things. That's how we're told. That's how we're taught to cook. Where you don't have specific amounts. Like you just depends on...
That's how I cook as well. I don't have the 5 millimeters and milliliters and all of that.
And because this tripe is white, I wanted to add a bit of color to it. So I'm adding tomato paste, and what happens is that we close the lid and we let it cook. We let it cook until it's soft. And then when it's soft, we add, 30 minutes before you finish cooking, you add some potatoes, you add some green beans, and, oh, I forgot. You also have to add bay leaves.
Yes, for the flavor.
For the flavor. And then this is how it looks like when it's
And that's
all
like
done.
3 hours later.
That's like 3 hours later. And today I've decided that we're going to serve it with samp and beans. Can I have a spoon? Sam and beans.
What type of spoon would you like?
Instead of oxtail cubes.
Come again?
Can you use lemon instead of oxtail cubes?
Lemon. I've never tried lemon, but I'm sure you can.
Because I love cooking with lemon.
I'm sure you can, but I'm not going to lie to you. I've never tried. But you know what the lemon does? It absorbs all the flavors. So I'm sure it's going to give it a bit of tanginess as well. So I'm sure you can go ahead and try lemons. But you get a lot of people who tell you that, hey, why are you doing this to our tribe? This is supposed to be like plain, but there's nothing wrong with trying out different things. Like everything evolves, even a tradition.
So how would you make it plain? Would you still boil it with the ginger and the garlic? Or
No, plain is like
just
really
spices,
plain.
like salt and spice.
But still boil it to make it soft, and then just add like salt and
Yes, you make sure you clean it, but it has to be green because the flavor is going to come from that green. And then you just add your salt. You don't even add onions.
Wow, okay.
You just cook it as is,
but
with
it
water
tastes
and salt.
divine.
And then you eat it with sam as well?
Or steamed bread as well is very good.
Wow, okay.
You see, now it's very easy. Can you do it at home?
And another thing of advice I know from seeing my mother cook, if you have a little gas stove, put it outside and cook outside. Otherwise your house tends to smell
It
very
smells
delicious.
like the inside of a cow. It does.
Now I'm thinking of a panichao with tripe inside. What would you call it? A panichao.
It could be that. Well, as we wait for this to cook for about 3 hours, if you're sitting around and thinking, where am I going to get a nice braai piece of meat instead of making it on your balcony in your yard, there's a place in Four Ways called the Mash Braai House, where you can get all of this plice braai meat, good people to hang around, and my brr known as Brett, that's his heritage name, went out to check it out. So tell us what you think. Here it is.
South Africans really do love their meat, and the experience of a unique lifestyle braai restaurant combines upmarket ambiance with beloved flavors from home.
Heritage Day is a very special time in our country as we get to explore all of our cultures and traditions. The Mash Braai House here caters to many, from shisanyama to braai to some things you might not expect to see in a suburban menu. It's time we embrace all of our cultures, and I plan on doing just that. But right now, I'm just really hungry.
The restaurant is the brainchild of Limpopo-born entrepreneur Wato Mashalwane. He wanted to bring the carefree environment of a shisanyama into a modern dining space, and it's become one of the most popular restaurants in Johannesburg.
Yes, I can smell this feast. It's unbelievable. Tell me, Wato, what sets you apart from all other restaurants?
Look, I mean, the whole idea behind Mash Braai House was to bring a township flavor into a modern upmarket suburb. You would realize, I mean, we cater for higher LSMs, and these are people who dine all over the world. They fly all over the world, so they typically know what they want. I mean, all the dishes that are sitting here, if you don't mind me taking you through what they are. To start with, we've got mogodu or lamb tripe, and then here it's traditional chicken, or what they call mlekwa. Others call it the hard body. And over here, it's manglena or lamb trotters.
So all these dishes, these are part of your history, they're part of your heritage. I mean, your mother must have cooked these dishes for you when you were a child.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have taken a giant leap from the traditional way of preparing the food. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea was to try and modernize the dishes. I mean, there's different types of heritage. There's personal heritage, which is passed from parents to children. There's natural heritage, which is obviously the natural beauty of the environment. There's the national heritage, which is obviously South African heritage. The whole idea was take a bit of what was done back in the years and just give it a bit of a twist and present it the way that our target market would appreciate and would enjoy it within a modern, upmarket, comfortable setting.
Each year on the 24th of September, there's that same question. Is this Braai Day or is this Heritage Day? What's your opinion on that?
Heritage. I mean, you know, culture, it's something that you're not born with. It's something that you learn. I mean, South Africa is called a rainbow nation because of the diverse culture, you know, race, religion, customs, practices, etc., etc. And, you know, heritage is part of healing and uniting us as one society.
These are obviously all traditional dishes. Have you adjusted them at all? Do you have some secret ingredients?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've taken traditional dishes and we've given it a bit of a twist and used our own Mash by House spices just to, you know, add a bit of flavor and make it more appealing to our target customer. The thinking behind Mash was we understand people are so absorbed in their high lives, flying all over, dining in all these big restaurants, and they forget the simpler side of life. And that is walking into an establishment like this, you order something that you grew up in and you just dig in with your hands. So no, go ahead.
All right, enough talking. Let's eat.
Let's dig in, Brad.
Taking pride in their indigenous cooking style, the restaurant has a limited set menu, and the order of the day really is to cater for everyone's tastes. So customers can create their own traditional meal from the respective mains and side dish options, and watch their meat being prepared on the braai stand right in front of them. The atmosphere is festive over weekends and on public holidays, with live music to really make it a soul food experience.
I adore Heritage Day weekend. I love seeing friends and family alike coming together and celebrating. But I don't think we celebrate each other's cultures and traditions enough. Why don't you start this Heritage Day weekend? I am.
Welcome back. So in the heart of the North, you can have a good braai vlees and enjoy yourself on Heritage Day. So don't say that we don't give you enough to do on a Saturday. Carishma, I'd like to know, on a Saturday,
yes,
as a yogi, what do you do?
Well, you know, in our industry, there's no such thing really as a weekend, unfortunately. So,
or a holiday.
Exactly. So sometimes I'm working on set, which I love anyway, so that's a good thing. If not, I try and sleep in a little bit, but like I said, I've got lots of fur babies. I've got two giant dogs that are my life, so usually wake up, have a quick breakfast, try and do a little bit of yoga, and then we're in the mountains.
In the mountains the whole day?
The whole day. I mean, as long as we can, we're finding new trails to hike. I mean, my dogs, they love being outside. My husband and I love being outside. So if there's good weather, then that's what we're doing. If it's rainy and miserable, there's nothing I love more than being on my couch in my pajamas the entire day with some amazing series or like good movies, just chilling, being cozy, a fire, some good vino, you know? Yeah.
People don't know that artists, all we love doing and what's such a treasure to us is sleeping.
Exactly.
Because we never get to sleep in. So once we have a moment, trust me, we're shutting those windows and curtains and we're sleeping.
And we're sleeping. It's like a luxury.
Yeah.
Though, but it always happens to me that the day I can't sleep, it never happens.
It never happens, right? That's when you have all the energy and you can't fall asleep.
7 a.m. I'm like, oh, what are we doing? It's a beautiful day. And
make tribe 3 hours to do
3 hours,
something.
exactly.
But I still have more for you guys at home. So if you're thinking, what can I do today? Well, I have someone interesting on the phone. Stasia Fantona, are you there? Hello?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Welcome to the show. I believe that there's something that's happening today. You have a fair that's happening. I'd like to know what it's about, where is it, and give me more information around it.
Okay, so the Family Fair is happening this Heritage Weekend, Saturday 24 September and Sunday 25 September. So the concept of the Fine Fair Arts Festival for us is very important from the start to be more than just an event. We have, as creators ourselves, realized that it's really hard to make a sustainable living as a creative. And Heritage Weekend was just the perfect fit to celebrate our country's creativity and entrepreneurship in all forms, and to create a platform where makers can network and, most importantly, make some money.
Oh, wow. But it seems like you're really trying to change the mindset, especially of the born frees. What can people learn when they come to this finery fair?
Okay, so we've got quite a big lineup for the Saturday and the Sunday. On the Saturday, we'll have the Bottomless Coffee Band, Newcomer Kate Rock, as well as the Silver Creek Mountain Band. On the Sunday, we have Gerald Clark, Susie Swanepoel and Georgetown Band, and 80 finery makers making the most incredible handmade stuff. We've got theatre shows, we've got craft distilling workshops, how to make your own cheese workshop, and a kidpreneur corner where kids can come and make things out of recycled materials.
Now, I know that Johannesburg and South Africa has a lot of foodies, people that love to go out and eat good food. What type of food can we find at the fair?
Okay, so we've got quite a wide variety of food. We've got Food Truck Alley.
Yes.
So there we have tacos, we have craft ice cream and sorbet. We've got handmade cocktails, craft beer, handmade cheeses.
Wow, that sounds really awesome. But for all of this, there must be a charge. So how much is it, and where can we purchase the tickets from?
Okay, so the ticket price is 120 Rand per person per day, and that's the online price. Then on the day, it will be 150 Rand per ticket person. And then for those people who would like to catch all the exciting happenings, you can get a weekend pass for 200 Rand, and you can get the tickets on www.thefinery.co.za.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us, Astasia, and definitely, I think it's something that I will check out. So if you at home are near Pretoria, you could check it out today, because that is the place that you really want to be. Ladies, I'd like to ask you, what makes you different from anyone else? I know it's a difficult question. It's like a Miss South Africa question.
It's always such a tough one to answer that.
Once everything is turned to self, it becomes difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I'll start. What makes me different is that I do what Thuli wants to do. I love life, I enjoy being alive, and I go out and enjoy everything. Like, I always tell myself that we have a limited amount of time on this earth. So I do whatever I want to do. That makes me different.
Lovely.
And for me, I'd say, because I'm so much of an absurdist, so I exaggerate everything.
Yes.
Like if I want a dress, I want it that long. If it's a headgear, I want it to be this big, you know. So what makes me different is that I don't let anything come between me and my dreams. Yeah. You know, no matter what comes, no matter what tries to push me away from it, I just focus on what I do because it makes me alive. You know, music is an escapism of me to be who I want to be and get all the love that I need from people and take it back at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, I think that...
I know.
I love
Hello, everyone. No. I just think that I'm an exceptionally passionate person. And I approach everything in life with the utmost passion. And it's something I love about myself. I'm very positive. I'm a complete daredevil. I will literally do anything once, which is also something that's kind of cool. And I'm always drawn to kind of off the beaten path stuff.
Yes.
So you'll never find me doing the mundane, boring old thing.
I mean, you're a yogi, babe. What more?
Exactly.
What more, right?
Exactly.
So I'd like to ask you at home, if you had to create a culture, what would they be called? What would they wear? Where would they be from? How would they behave and think? That is the question. Hashtag The Weekend Edition. On Facebook, The Weekend Edition. Twitter, Instagram, as you see it below. It is The Weekend on 3. See you after the break.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. As we continue on our journey of Heritage Day discovery, we've got a special guest here, Thabo Makheta of Thabo Makheta BaSotho Couture, right?
Yes.
Firstly, welcome to Weekend Edition. And welcome to Cape Town.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You've just moved to Cape Town. It's been like, what, 6 months?
It's been 6 months since we moved down, so far so good.
Yeah, and you started BaSotho Couture in PE, correct?
Yes, I did start my business in PE about 7 years.
Why am I calling it BaSotho Couture? It's not BaSotho Couture.
It's a new name you've made for it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I've been doing my business for 7 years now, and then working with the blankets and creating the creations, as you refer to, BaSotho Couture. That's been for 5 years now.
When you say the blankets, what do you mean?
The expensive blankets.
Yes, the proper BaSotho blankets that we use in our tradition.
Yeah.
We actually take the physical blankets, and then from that we create the jackets and the capes and the coats that you get to see.
Like what you're wearing.
Like what
so
I'm
that
wearing.
is made from, I see.
But isn't that expensive? Because that blanket is expensive.
Yes, the blanket is definitely expensive, but I mean, what we're going for is also African luxury as well.
With you.
So I mean, the quality of the blankets that we use, and we have to use the legit thing as well, just to show off the designs and the creations.
What do you mean by expensive? How expensive is...
I mean,
about 1.2 for blanket,
1.7 now, and I mean, for a normal blanket, it's like 150. So I mean, for a blanket, it's quite expensive.
Because it's wool blankets as well.
So she's gonna cut it up. That's like wow.
They're made out of wool and they're handmade.
Yes.
I see. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about just heritage on the streets. We don't see it, and oftentimes when you see it, it's like somebody has to kind of make an effort to present it. Why do you think that there is such a vacuum of culture in our attire?
I think what tends to happen, I think for me personally, I think what's happened, like I left Lesotho when I was 3 years old, for example. And from there you move to Johannesburg, where I grew up when I was younger. And a lot of the time there's a lot of other cultures that are there, and it's a cosmopolitan city and all of that. And a lot of the culture and all that gets watered down or until like it's completely gone. And let's be honest, you can't really practically wear a blanket into a corporate space or anything like that. So for me, it was just, I started thinking, you know what, how do I now take my tradition and modernize it and present it? Because as soon as you can do that and you can show people that, look, you can still take your culture and, you know, make it look beautiful and still wear it every day, then they also start coming up with creative ideas as well of doing the same thing.
Right, right. So besides the blankets, what else do you do? I mean, you studied this. What's your focus? How would you describe the space that you operate in?
Yeah. Well, for me, I really enjoy creating garments that have a story and a history to it. I mean, even my graduation collection was actually based on Indian wear and the fabrics and all of that, because my parents actually studied in India when they were younger, so I got that from there. So I really enjoy creating items that have something to do with ethnicity. Oh,
ethnicity, yeah.
Yes, that's
I think that's right?
Yeah. So I enjoy designing things with culture, and my thing is also to show people that we can take culture and make it red carpet. We can take culture and make it every day. It doesn't have to sit in this box that says, okay, you know, when there's a traditional affair, that's the only time it's appropriate.
Right, right, right. Do you find yourself wearing traditional attire more or less than you'd like?
Less. I only use it for weddings and Heritage Day and certain events that I go to. But on a day-to-day, you're right. It's not.
You say
because most of it isn't trendy. I mean, you know, it's difficult to find good cuts out of traditional wear that fit into our day-to-day lives. You know, it's not that we don't like it. It's just. It's not easy. Like she said, wearing a blanket around the whole day would be quite difficult. You know. Yeah.
So would you blame the designers or would you blame the consumers?
Designers. It's half and half.
Is it half and half?
It's half and half. Because at the same time, like you're saying for yourself, you don't wear it day to day. But I mean,
if I track suits in my tradition,
I feel like if there's something cool to wear, people
like
will
let's
wear
say the shawl that you're wearing now, especially the ones that you tend to have beads on it, you're still going to wear a scarf when you go to the office when it's cold, or you're going to wear something. So why not use a traditional piece like that versus going to the store?
For that cold day?
If you're wearing a scarf just around the neck and you're wearing this just to cover around the neck, it's doing the same thing.
With you.
So it's the same. That's what I'm saying. Currently, right now, it's much more easier to accessorize in traditional versus wearing traditional. But I mean, it needs to start somewhere. And then, yes, also with the designers as well. Yeah, we need to start taking more. We've got over 11 cultures that are represented in this country. We really need to start taking more from that and developing a new way to look at fashion and how to wear fashion.
Yeah, I always feel like the guys who make the most noise dictate the trends. You know what I mean? Like
that is true.
The guy who says, now we're gonna wear tight, skinny jeans, that's what's gonna happen. And if he makes the biggest noise, that's what's gonna happen. You look at Khanyi and his attire. So I don't know if the designers also have a responsibility in providing the options and the opportunities as well. But listen, congratulations, you were profiled. Firstly, you went to, Nelson Mandela Bay Business Chamber listed you as the top 40 under 40 business leaders of 2014, right? Then that same year you went to Canada, Vancouver Fashion Week, right?
Yes.
Last year you did SA Fashion Week.
Yes.
And you've been profiled in the New York Post as well. So you've had some international press and coverage. You've got a few accolades. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
Does that stuff mean anything to you? When you get recognized like that, what does that do for your brand?
For the brand, of course, I mean, it's growing because everyone loves to see a brand that has, you know, some accreditation to it. For me personally, I think, I mean, the biggest one as well, like you're saying, the Nelson Mandela Business Chamber, top 40 under 40 business people. Because a lot of the time I've always had people like, oh, you're a creative, you don't know anything about business, you don't do that. So when you get noticed by the chamber, for example, then for me that's like, okay, you know, I'm a legit business person. I'm not just a pretty face and sitting behind a sewing machine. You know, and it also helps to get people to start taking you seriously. A lot of the time when you start, especially in fashion and design, people kind of just like, you're a seamstress, you know. I'll come to you with a picture, you make it up for me, I'll go wear it for my farewell or something like that. So it's also great to have these so then people can actually see like, okay, no, I can trust you, Thabo, you are the designer. This is what I have in mind, do your thing, work your magic. So yeah, no, for me personally, it's pretty awesome to have those things.
She was saying to me earlier that, and I'm gonna put you on blast. It was a private conversation. Can I say it? Can I? I can say it. I mean, there's somewhere I'm going.
Okay.
I want to talk about how, support for local businesses. Talking about you being a legit business and so forth. You were saying that in one of the towns, I won't mention the town that you lived in before, you had a business, and people would rather go to Joburg to buy clothes and come back and ask you to fix those clothes than buy from you and actually pay. They'd rather spend, they want to negotiate prices with you, spend more money in Joburg and still come back for alterations with you.
Shame.
Do we have a problem with supporting our fellow entrepreneurs?
We do. When something comes with an airplane or over the seat, it feels special.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
And when it's made next door to your house, it feels like a homemade.
But why is that when other cultures will support each other to the teeth? Like, you know, we've all heard about how Indian communities buy and support from each other. Jewish communities do the same thing. Why is it so hard for some of the other cultures to do the same thing?
I think it's just how we carry ourselves in terms of business. You know, we as black people, I'm so sorry to say this, have this idea that it's a brotherhood, not a business, and we don't respect each other. I could give her material, she will not be ready at 3 o'clock when I need it, but because she knows me, she grew up with me, she expects me to understand type of thing. But if you go to a store and someone else from a different culture, 3 o'clock it'll be ready at 1. That's the problem.
It's not just from you. That's a very one-sided statement.
Designers. I could be wrong. Well, I'd like to throw it to social media, you know. Do we prefer other cultures or clothing from somewhere else instead of supporting our own? Hashtag The Weekend Edition on Instagram and Twitter, The Weekend on 3, Facebook, The Weekend Edition. Let me know, because I'd like to know your thoughts. She's about to kill me. Maybe if I'm still alive, see you after the break.
We've reached the grand finale.
Yes, this is it.
Heritage Day.
Done and dusted.
Weekend edition is over. Heritage Day is not over.
Yeah.
And Heritage Life shouldn't be over.
Ever, ever, ever. It's a part of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you enjoy it, though?
I did. And we're about to feast, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah. And before we go, let's go to the performance, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It wouldn't be right without music.
No, ever, ever. show is done. Enjoy your Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, 6:30 to 9 a.m. right here on SABC3. Remember, it is hashtag The Weekend Edition, Facebook The Weekend Edition, Twitter, Instagram The Weekend on 3. Enjoy your Saturday.